Okay guys, I was just reading the news, browsing around, catching up on the week, and I came across something we have to talk about. So there is this congressional House caucus within the GOP. There are 156 members in it, okay? It's massive. That means like 3 out of every 4 House Republicans is a member of this caucus. It's called the Republican Study Committee, or RSC for short. And they just released their new family policy agenda, and within it there's some good ideas. Okay, the whole thing's not terrible, but the part we have to talk about is deeply unhinged. Okay, so there's this section that's called protecting children from dangers of drugs.
Oh shit, here we go again.
In it, they claim that states that are legalizing marijuana have seen an explosion of marijuana use among children, which is having a hugely negative impact on their health. But that is easily disproven with a quick Google search, okay?
Go look up the history. Shit, don't everybody believe in Google?
According to JAMA, which if you don't know, JAMA is this like prestigious peer-reviewed medical journal. They publish it 48 times a year, and it's published by the American Medical Association, so pretty legit. And they actually found, when they looked into this, that marijuana use among teens has not increased in states that have passed medical or recreational marijuana laws in the past 25 years. In fact, their study found that legalization may actually be making it more difficult for kids to obtain pot. Shocker. When you get rid of a black market, it typically makes it to where things are more regulated. People cannot get things they're not supposed to have access to. Things go above book. This is common sense. This is why we as libertarians don't believe in product bans for virtually anything, because you never get rid of the product. You just create a black market that typically makes it more dangerous to obtain the product, that empowers gangs and cartels, and that usually leads to more violence. So you take away that illegality, and it basically makes it a safer market, safer product, makes it less likely for kids to get their hands on it. This is not rocket science.
The problem is you.
The plan goes on to say that Congress should not legalize marijuana while also taking steps to constrain this new industry's ability to harm children.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Like, can we not, for once, can we not with the children? I am so fed up with politicians using children as pawns. It's always about the children, right? That's their constant scapegoat. It's not about the children. Nobody's coming for your children. Like, just lay off. Then the report goes on to read, like, something written by a 1970s Sunday school teacher that's checking her kids' Halloween trick-or-treat bags for drugs that people slipped into them because that's something people do. It's not. They go on to say, at the very least, Congress should direct the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to gather data and conduct studies on the health impacts of THC use during childhood and early adolescence, with a special focus on deaths by suicide and those involved in violent crime, to provide Congress and the public with further information about these dangers. Like, guys, we've already studied these things for decades. We have been looking at these things. As PolitiFact reports, a 2013 RAND Corporation study commissioned by the federal government, literally by these same politicians, found that marijuana use does not induce violent crime, and the links between marijuana use and property crime are thin. Like, I swear to God, do these people not have Google? I'm actually confused at this point. They're like, we need to commission a new study. Like, you could just Google it and find these studies. They're out there. I did this in like 3 minutes.
They're gonna need to step it up.
As for the impacts on mental health, there's a lot of people, I think, playing really fast and loose with this data here. One, a lot of people use marijuana. A lot. So if you're going to start talking about any kind of link between mental health issues or suicide and people who use marijuana, you have to first take into account that a very large percentage of people use marijuana. So is it causation? Is it correlation? Who could really say? Secondarily, those who have mental health care or mental health issues tend to self-medicate more. They do tend to use drugs and alcohol and other substances at higher rates. So again, correlation or causation, worth looking into. But some studies that I found actually show a decrease in suicidal thoughts and actions. One 2020 study found that recreational marijuana access was associated with a 6.29% reduction in suicide rates for males in the 40 to 49 age group. So I just think this is so backwards. I really thought we were past this.
You need to move on.
Tell me why.
Move on.
Like, I don't know, it's kind of like when gay marriage was still like a thing in 2012, 2013, and you're like, don't you realize you've already lost you've lost. You've lost this issue. You've lost it for a good reason. There are many medical benefits to marijuana. It actually should be legalized. It's ridiculous that we've ever put people in jail or prison for the substance or ruined people's lives over it. That is actually the bigger crime here, not marijuana usage. And so seeing this out of the House GOP, I'm sure not all members agree with everything that their caucus is pushing in this plan, but yikes.